Hello guys, mega love shoutout sa inyong lahat. Sa lahat ng mga manunood, mega love shoutout sa inyong lahat. Guys, panuorin natin ang Quacomcom. Puro mga Duterte lang ang topic nila, hindi sila makagagawa ng mga batas. Dapat gagawa pa sila ng batas para sa mga mamahaling bilhin ngayon. Ang mamahal ng mga bilhin ngayon, dapat dyan pa naman sila. Puro lagi nilang nakikitang mga Duterte sa bagay. Kung wala silang hearing, wala silang bayad. Bayad pa mo. Dapat sa mga distrikto ng mga taong ito, huwag ninyo ibuto. Dahil puro paninirang mga pinaggagawa nila. Thank you so much guys. 2 million in the house. Palike naman po. Thank you so much. 3 million in the house. Thank you. Palike naman po. Baka naman.
The supporting documents, sir, that I mentioned is all supporting
You
documents.
signed yung liquidation report itself.
Only the liquidation report as annexed in the joint circular, Your Honor.
So yung liquidation report as annexed in the joint circular,
Yes.
what you are certifying there is that you've gone through all of the supporting documents. So would this not include yung ating acknowledgement receipts and documentary evidence of payment?
Sir, in the JC, hindi po included sa responsibilities ng accountant ang review of the documents evidencing payments.
So, sorry, I hope you can forgive the confusion, no? Kasi earlier you mentioned when you go through the supporting documents and other, yung mga supporting documents lang, you were talking about for signing of the disbursement voucher to release the check po, no?
The cash advance.
The cash advance. But in this case of the liquidation report, this is already post-disbursement, tama po ba? The liquidation report is already talking about the quarter that has lapsed. So you are signing on supporting documents there. What supporting documents po are you certifying in that case?
Sir, the supporting documents of the liquidation, not necessarily po yung documents evidencing payments. It is under the responsibility only of the special disbursing officer, and the audit of this is through ICPAO.
No, I understand po what you're saying is that it's not necessarily your responsibility, but you do have a certification there that you have gone through all the supporting documents. So how do we distinguish which supporting documents are verified or certified or prepared by the SDO and which supporting documents are verified or prepared by the chief accountant? Could you please clarify to us po, which particular supporting documents are you certifying?
Yes, the supporting documents I certified po as complete and proper is the supporting documents also to be submitted sa ICPA, which is also the attached documents of the cash advance.
But the acknowledgement receipts and DEPs are also submitted to the ICFAO, is that correct?
Yes, sir, but it is through a sealed envelope signed by the SDO.
Okay, so the documents that are not sealed in which you certify would be specifically, could you in your spot? Sorry?
Yes, sir. The special order,
Special order.
the same attachment of the cash advance, special order, the approved banding, specimen signatures of all the signatories, the copy of the SBR, the fiscal and financial plan of the confidential plan. Um,
Okay.
that's I can remember, Your Honor.
Thank you. Of course, marami po yan. So, Ms. Villadere, you mentioned that this is the same SDs that are in the disbursement voucher.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, kung ano po yung sinertify and sinubmit nyo for the disbursement voucher prior to the cash advance, yun rin po ang, that is what you're referring to po na ina-attach ulit sa liquidation report submitting to the ICFAO. That is what you are certifying to.
Yes, Your
Although the
Honor.
terms in the certification are all documents, you are testifying now that it's only in relation to these particular documents that you have mentioned.
Tama po.
Thank you po for the clarification, Ms. Villa Del Rey. Mr. Chair, if I would still have some time, I'd like to ask just a few preliminary questions to Attorney Sanchez.
Yes, please continue.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Attorney Sanchez, kayo po ay dinesignate bilang officer in charge, Chief of Staff of the OVP na inaprobahan ni VP. Tama po ba?
Mr. Chair, may I know the period covered, Mr. Chair?
I'm just referring to the order number 2024-56. But if you'd like to testify about any period, you are free to answer. Hindi naman po to yes or no.
Mr. Chair, there are different periods. I recall that I was assigned as the OIC of the Office of the Chief of Staff here.
In which
Mr.
case
Chair.
po, can you please relate to this committee what time periods po kayo ay naging
Ah.
OIC? And if you can confirm that OIC pa rin po kayo ngayon.
Mr. Chair, I cannot recall the specific periods, Mr. Chair, but I can trace the office orders or special orders designating me as the OIC, Mr. Chair.
Could you give us at least a ballpark, not figure, a ballpark duration? Which month po kayo naging chief of OIC? And I'm sure na tapos po yung inyong pagiging OIC, that means na actual chief of staff. And then naging OIC naman po kayo. Am I understanding your story correctly?
No, Mr. Chair. I would just like to clarify that I am only appointed as the OIC for the Office of the Chief of Staff. Whenever the Chief of Staff and the Assistant Chief of Staff are not available in the office, Your Honor.
Okay, so it's a temporary thing.
Yes,
Hindi
Your
naman po
Honor.
siya yung dahil wala pa yung chief of staff.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ang sabi po sa Office Order 2024-56 is mayroong travel ang Chief of Staff na si Attorney Zulaika Lopez at Assistant Chief of Staff na si Lemuel Ortonio on October 18, 2024. So let's zero in this one time. Do you recall this? Could you relate to us ano po yung official travel ni Attorney Lopez and the Assistant Chief of Staff Ortonio?
Your Honor, from what I recall, they had traveled to Davao, Your Honor.
To Davao. And would you recall the
Yes.
duration of this?
I do not recall, Your Honor. I can trace the travel order, Your Honor, and provide this committee with it, Your Honor.
One last preliminary question. BC, would you say you're relatively capable or familiar with the office of at least of the Chief of Staff?
Your Honor, as OIC, I only perform functions which are specifically designated to me, Your Honor. So I still am able to get direct instructions from the Chief of Staff even during the period that she is not in the office, Your Honor.
Even when she is abroad?
Yes, Your Honor.
One more question. Bilang, sorry, can you clarify my name tag? You are director for what department?
For Administrative and Financial Services Office, Your Honor.
Financial services. Do you have any interactions or any role in the disbursement of yung confidential funds?
Your Honor, my participation in the disbursement of confidential funds is just limited as one of the authorities of the checks for the cash advance, Your Honor.
So checks for the cash advance which are being verified by Ms. Villy Del Rey for disbursement lang.
Yes,
So
Your
you
Honor.
have no participation in yung tranches. Example, yung for 2022 of December, 125 million. Kay Ms. Villy Del Rey, they will only record it as one whole 125 million. But as Director for Finance, would you have any knowledge as to the breakdown of that 125 million and live kung kailan to dinidisburse?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I have no personal knowledge on that matter.
Okay. Thank you very much, Attorney Sanchez. Mr. Chair,
you,
I'll
Your
now
Honor.
yield the floor to other interpellators. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, Congressman Gutierrez. The next interpolator is woman, Pami Zamora. You're not.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I'd like to direct my questions kay Ma'am, tama ba Julieta? Paano po i-pronounce?
Julieta Villa del
Julieta,
Rey.
hi Ma'am Julieta Villa del Rey. Ma'am, binanggit mo na po kay Congressman Gutierrez na kayo po ang chief accountant under the OVP. Bilang chief accountant po, to whom are you directly under po? Kumbaga, sino po ang inyong immediate and direct supervisor?
Under the Director of SOPO, Your Honor, Administrative and Financial Services OPs.
I'm sorry, ma'am, mahina po ang pandinig ko. Pakiulit po.
Under Director of Administrative and Financial Services OPs.
Okay. And bilang sa ilalim ka po nitong binanggit nyo, under ka ng Director for Administrative and Financial Services Office. Wait lang ma'am, can you confirm if this is the correct organizational chart of the OVP? Kung saan ka nabibilang?
Tama po, under the Director of APSO.
And tama po ba ma'am, yung Director for Administrative and Financial Services, yung katabi niyo po ngayon, si Ma'am Rosalyn L. Sanchez?
Tama po.
Okay. And on top of all of this ay ang Chief of Staff na si Miss Zulaika T. Lopez. Tama po?
Tama.
All right. Ma'am, bilang Chief Accountant, dumadaan po ba sa opisina ninyo yung mga pondo na pumapasok sa OVP?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay. For the last quarter of 2022, ma'am, maaalala niyo po ba cheque na pumasok sa OVP? Last quarter of 2022.
Che,
Apo.
wala po
Ako na pong
akong-
magpapaalala, ma'am. Ito po.
Ah.
125 million po. Tama po ba? Pakibasa po. Tama po bang pagkakabasa ko na 125 million po siya?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Okay.
Pero, Your Honor, as I said earlier, hindi po daan sa amin ang check payment, only the processing of disbursement voucher.
Opo. Opo, ma'am. Darating tayo dyan. So, ang tanong ko, ma'am, ang tanong, kasi inunahan ako ni ma'am. Ang tanong ko sa iyo, sabi mo, processing lang of disbursement vouchers. Ang tanong ko ngayon, in any way, are you notified ba kapag may cheque na? Kasi sinabi mo kanina kay Kong Rog, assured dapat na may yun. So, in a way, nanonotify ka na may cheque na.
Only sa report, Your Honor, report of checks issued.
Sa report mo lang natatanggap. Yun po ba?
Tama po.
So, hindi mo po masasabi sa akin, ma'am, kung ang checking ito ay kung anong pinagdaan na ito, kung ito.
No, Your Honor.
Is there anybody here who can answer kung ano pong pinagdaanan ng cheque na ito? All right. Can we go to the next slide? Meron po akong ipapakita ulit. Ma'am, magkano po yung nakasulat sa cheque na ito for the first quarter of 2023?
125 million, Your Honor.
125 million. And again, ang chief accountant, sinasabi mo po kanina kay Congressman Gutierrez na hindi po dumadaan sa inyo to. At again, processing lang ng disbursement vouchers ang trabaho niyo po. Tama po ba?
Tama po, Your Honor.
All right. At wala po sa ating kahit sino ditong makakasagot kung papaano po lumabas ang cheque na ito. Okay. Can we go to the next check, please? Ito naman, ma'am. Ay, for next of 125 million, kay Ma'am Villa del Rey, again, so hindi to again dumaan sa inyo.
No, Your Honor.
Ma'am Rosalyn Sanchez, ikaw po nakikita ko po, nagulat po ako, ikaw po ang nakapirma dito. Naaalala niyo po bang pinirmahan po ito?
Yes, Your Honor.
Pati pala yung first check, kita kanina, hindi mo naala. Okay, so anong nangyari sa check na ito, ma'am? Ma'am Lynn Sanchez.
Ma'am, may I just be, Your Honor, may I be clarified? When I mentioned to Congressman Gutierrez earlier that I am the signatory, my participation for confidential
So you
funds is a
signed the check and then
signatory
you
for
don't know what
checks.
happened next.
Yes,
Is
Your
that what
Honor.
you're saying? All right, I'll take that answer. Okay. Mabalik ako kay Ma'am Villa del Rey. Ma'am Villa del Rey, as the chief accountant ng OVP, mula early on, nakailang vice president, particular po kayo siguro talaga. In fact, nabanggit kanina dun sa joint circular ng 2015. Tama po ba?
Tama po.
And you are very much aware of your responsibilities as agency accountant under the joint circular, particularly under section 6.3.
Tama po, Your Honor.
Sa joint circular, ma'am, merong guidelines on the grant and liquidation of cash advance for confidential funds. Tama po ba?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Kinukumpirma mo kanina, ma'am, na ayon sa kaalaman mo na kahit na hindi sa iyo dumaan ang cheque, 'di ba? Paulit-ulit mo pong sinabi, pero kinukumpirma mo pa rin na nakatanggap ng 125 million na confidential funds 4 times ang OVP. Tama po?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Okay. Ma'am Villa del Rey, aware ka naman po na kahit hindi po ikaw ang SDO, na liable ka pa rin po bilang chief accountant ng OVP. Kung sakaling mapatunayan na naroon ng misuse ng confidential funds ang OVP. Tama po ba?
Tama po, Your Honor, depending on the participation.
Under kasi ma'am dun sa joint circular, yung liability mo ay katumbas ng liability ng SDO. Tama po ba yun, ma'am?
Tama po, as mentioned, depending on my participation.
Opo, kaso kanina tinatanong ka po ni Congressman Gutierrez, nung nagpirma ka po sa liquidation report, hindi naman po nakasulat doon na ito po ang pirma, certified supporting documents complete and proper. Yun po ang pinirmahan. Under po ng joint circular, again, isa ka talaga dun sa itong signatory. Ikaw po, yung SDO na si Ma'am Gina Acosta at ang Vice President. And dahil po sinacertify mo ang mga dokumento na isinumite at ay kumpleto, sapat bilang Chief Accountant, ikaw ay naging isang accountable officer. Tama po ba?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Dahil po ma'am sa pagpirma mo sa receipt of payment, ikaw ay naging accountable sa custody, keep ng mga funds na ito. Tama po ba, ma'am?
No, Your Honor. Hindi po ako nag-safekeep ng fund. only the processing of the issuance of cash advance and recording of its liquidation.
All right. Familiar ka ba, Ma'am Villa del Rey, sa Presidential Decree number 1445 or the Government Auditing Code?
Yes, Your Honor. PD 1445.
Sa mga hindi po familiar dito, we will flash it. Under Section 103, it says general liability for unlawful expenditures. Expenditures of government funds, use of government property, and regulations, a personal liability for all employee found to be directly responsible therefore. In Section 105, measure kayo po ay isang accountable officer. It states every accountable for government property shall be liable for its in case of improper or unauthorized use or misapplication thereof by himself or any person for whose acts he may be responsible. We shall likewise be liable for all losses, damages, or deterioration occasioned by negligence in the keeping or use of the property, whether or not it be at the time in his actual custody. Every officer accountable for government funds shall be liable for all losses resulting from the unlawful deposit, use, or application thereof, and for all losses attributable to negligence in the keeping of the funds. Ibig sabihin, provisions na ito ng PD 1445, personal liability ng accountable office ang unlawful use or application of government funds or any loss attributable to the accountable officer's negligence in keeping the funds. Sumasang-ayon ka po ba dito, Ma'am Julieta Villa del Rey?
Your Honor, I reiterate lang po na hindi po ako nag-handle ng cash and my participation in the confidential fund is only in the issuance of it, the processing of the disbursement voucher, checking of all the supporting attached to the issuance of cash advance.
Ma'am, if hindi po kayo interaction sa SDO, hindi niyo po ba nakikita ang SDO na nagre-receive ng check subject of the disbursement voucher?
No, Your Honor.
Sino po ang nagre-release ng check sa SDO?
Cash division, Your Honor.
Cash division. Sino naman po, ang tanong ko po sa inyo, since pinirmahan niyo po lahat liquidation reports na meron po ako dito, sino po ang nagyan ng liquidation report for your signature?
It was routed to our office.
It was routed. What is this process?
It
So
was
it's like, you know,
yes, it was routed po from office of the BP.
from office of the BP.
To
Sino
account-
pong ma'am? Was it a messenger?
Liaison officer, Your
Who
Honor.
is this liaison officer?
I don't have idea, Your Honor, since hindi it was only handed to me by my staff in a folder or in an envelope with marked confidential.
It's such a big deal. So, inaabot-abot lang po pala yung ganitong papel. Okay. So, ma'am, kayo po, hindi po kayo sumasang-ayon dun sa provisions ng PD 1445. Kahit na po kanina binanggit niyo po na you agree that you are the AO or the accountable officer.
Yes, Your Honor, I am accountable officer only in the issuance of cash advance.
Hindi po ba ganun din po yun? Okay. Sa ngayon, ma'am, tatanungin ko pa rin po to. Bilang accountable officer po nung mga pinakita ko pong cheque nung 2022 at 2023, would you agree that any unlawful use of these funds would be your personal liability?
Based on the joint circular, Your Honor, but
So yes,
yes, depende po sa participation ko as chief accountant.
oo, nag-guess ka na. Ma'am, dahil po pinirmahan mo po bilang chief accountant ng OVP ang mga disbursement voucher at liquidation reports, may presumption naman po talaga tayo of regularity and that everything is above board. Di ba po?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Pero bakit kaya ma'am base sa mga testimony nung nakaraang hearing, nalaman ng publiko, nalaman din namin dito, bukod sa unreasonable at hindi makatarungan ang paggastos ng mga funds na ito, ay hindi din properly substantiated or supported ng dokumento, katulad na lamang po ng mga disbursement vouchers na sinertify mo po.
Ang disbursement voucher, Your Honor, na sinertify ko is for the issuance of cash advance. It was submitted for post-audit to the resident auditor of COA. And as far as I'm concerned, Your Honor, wala pong naging AOM ang issuance ng cash advance.
All right. Mr. Chair, we can confirm no bilang accountant na si Ma'am Juliet Ray, kahit po she devoids herself of responsibility dun sa cheque, hanggang dun lang siya sa disbursement voucher, nandun talaga siya. We can confirm that she is part of the process ng naging paggastos ng at liquidation confidential funds ng OVP. And as we continue our deliberations, Mr. Chair, on the issue, I hope that Ms. Villa del Rey will continue to be very diligent in cooperating with the committee para po mas mabigyang linaw ang ating mga katanungan. Yun lamang po, Chair. Thank you very much, and I yield to the next interpolator.
Thank you, Congresswoman Zamora. The chair would like to recognize the Honorable Deputy Speaker, J.J. Suarez.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Magandang tanghali po, Ma'am Julieta Villa del Rey.
Magandang tanghali po.
Ma'am, gaano katagal na po kayo naglilingkod sa ating pamahalaan?
I started, Your Honor, 34 years already.
34 years. Tama po ba ang rinig ko? 34 years.
Tama po.
So you've been committed to public service for a great part of your life. And you've been assigned to the office of the Vice President only, or have you transferred to other offices?
To Accounting Division, Honor, of the Office of the Vice President.
Doon lang.
Doon lang po.
So doon kayo nag-umpisa at hanggang ngayon,
Tama po.
nandun pa rin po kayo.
Tama po.
So, ma'am, sa nabanggit nyo, simula nung panahon ni Laurel, nandun na po kayo?
Yes, Your Honor. Last 2 years po ni VP Laurel.
Okay. So sa maraming vice presidents na pinaglingkuran po ninyo, yun lang po nagkaroon ang Office of the Vice President ng malaking halaga para sa confidential funds. Tama po ba ito?
As I recall, Your Honor, tama po.
So never in the past has a Vice President received this large amount. Thank you very much. Now, Ms. Villa del Rey, kanina nababanggit po yung halagang 125 million na natanggap nung fourth quarter of 2022, first quarter of 2023, second quarter of 2023, third quarter of kakamali. Kasi pong yun ay aabot ng 500 million pesos. Tama po ba yun?
Tama po.
Okay. Ma'am, matanong ko lang bago ako tulak sa susunod kong mga tanong. Sa nakalipas na mga hearings namin, kayo po ay pinadadalhan po na kayo nag-desisyon na dumalo.
Sir, as I mentioned po sa aking statement, the first invitation nakasama ako, I was only from September 14. And then, for the second invitation po, nakasama rin ako because of the matagal kong absence is marami po akong backlog. So I have to attend to tasks, Your Honor.
Kaya naman biglaan ng mga pandinig na ito, bakit hindi nyo po binigyan ng sapat na importansya para po makadalo sa Committee ng Good Government?
Sir, that is the reason po na nag-attend kami ngayon.
But after receiving a subpoena,
Yes, Your Honor.
so I think, ma'am, sa 34 years nyo na pong paglilingkod, na dapat maabot sa subpoena, dapat on mere invitation pa nakakadalo na po kayo. Dahil sa totoo lang, hindi naman siguro dapat tumagal ng ilang hearing kami dito kung dumadalo po yung mga resource persons namin. Given that career official pa po kayo, 34 years binanggit ninyo. Ngayon, ma'am, patungkol po dun sa confidential funds, before you issue another check, documents have to be submitted to your office with regards to how this was utilized and how it was liquidated, correct?
No, no letter from ICPAW.
Hindi, kunyari, humisip check ng 125, di ba? For 125 ng fourth quarter of 2022. For you, they have to submit the necessary requirements as how the previous 125 was utilized, correct?
Hindi po. Ang basis po ng liquidation, once receive ang transmittal letter, duly received by ICPAW, yun po yung time na iti-take up ko ang liquidation sa books of accounts. So, liquidate cash advance. Upon request of the next issuance of cash advance, I will issue po certificate of dated cash advance for the STO.
Okay. So, tulad po kasi nung nabang Congresswoman Zamora, nakasulat kasi dito, supporting document date and proper. At naka-fix po yung issue nyo dito.
Yes, Your Honor, that is pertaining to the supporting documents for the issuance of cash advance.
So when it comes to the supporting documents, can you just enlighten me and educate me? What are these supporting documents that need to be complete and proper before you issue another cash advance?
For the issuance of cash advance, Your Honor, the disbursement voucher and the ORS should be supported order of designated SDO, the approved banding from the BTR, the physical and financial plan of the fund, the specimen signature of all the disbursing officers of the ORS and DB, SBR or the copy of the GAA, and the notice of cash allocation, Your Honor. It is in cash advance, it should be supported with certification of no unliquidated cash advance of the SDO.
At issue ng disbursement, dapat tinitiyak nyo na kumpleto lahat.
Tama po.
At hinihimay nyo lahat ng mga dokumento, lahat ng mga papeles, lahat ng mga pinadadala sa inyo.
Tama po.
Sino po nagpapadala sa inyo ng mga dokumentong ito?
Nanggagaling po ang mga documents routed from Office of the VP.
Saan po galing?
Office of VP po.
Galing sa Office of the Vice President.
It was routed po to administrative officer.
And who is this administrative officer?
Hindi ko po kilala since tinatanggap din po siya ng AON Accounting Division. And once received in the Accounting Division, ira-route po ito sa table ko.
So, hindi nyo po kilala yung nagpapadala ng mga document nyo?
only through administrative officer.
So who is this administrative officer?
Sir, hindi po ako nakapag-interact sa administrative officer since ang document is in-hand, pino-forward lang sa akin ng accounting staff mismo.
Hindi, kaso lang ang ma'am laki. At dahil nga nabanggit din na, administratively, for whatever cases that may be filed or be seen na may liability, kasama po kayo sa mga liable. So I would assume that a certain level of consciousness on your part when it comes to the documents being submitted to you will be exercised, especially in the manner of who is submitting to you those documents.
Yes, Your Honor. It was routed through a sealed envelope or in a folder with marked confidential on it.
At sino
sir.
po ang nagpapadala sa inyo nito?
Sa Office of the BP po.
Sino would the OIC COS be able to verify who this administrative officer is?
Your Honor, I'm sorry, but I cannot identify the specific administrative officer as we have officers.
No,
in
but
the
okay,
office,
so
Your
but
Honor.
you may have several. How many administrative officers do you have? 20? 30?
I will,
50?
yes, I will check, Your Honor, but
No, I mean, ma'am.
it's more than 10 administrative officers.
Okay,
or
so you have
staff
10
in the-
administrative officers. How many administrative officers do you have tasked to handle confidential funds?
I
Should know.
Your Honor, I was only the OIC.
Before
of the Office
acting
of
as
the
OIC, what was the position that you had to the Vice President?
I am the Director for Administrative and Financial Services.
Therefore, as
Office, Your
Director
Honor.
for Administrative and Financial, you would know who the administrative officer is in handling confidential funds. I mean, it's a big fund. And it's very delicate in its nature that proper care would have to be given to it and attention. So dapat trusted at maasahan ninyo kasi kung magkaroon ng bulilyaso sa paghahanda ng pondong ito, malaking halaga po ang pinag-uusapan natin. You're talking about 125 million pesos per quarter. That's 500 million. So who is the administrative officer that you have tasked from the Office of the Vice President to submit documents to your chief accountant?
Your Honor, again, I apologize, but I am really not privy to that information, Your Honor.
Will you be kind enough to find out?
I will try, Your Honor. I will try, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. So, Ma'am Julieta Ray, matanong ko lang wag naman po sana kayo saktan. Kayo ay 34 Office of the Vice President. Nasusundan niyo po ba yung mga hearings namin dito?
May mga hearings po akong napapanood, Your Honor.
Okay. So siguro nakita niyo rin naman yung ilan sa mga red flags at inconsistencies na napansin po sa mga acknowledgement receipts na naisubmit. Hindi.
Yes, Your Honor.
At ilan din po sa mga lumitaw na mga issues patungkol po sa confidential funds other than the acknowledgement receipts ay yung mga questionable utilization niya. Hindi po ba?
Tama.
Aware din po kayo. Ma'am, would you say or to a certain extent be able to pagdating po ba sa management ng Office of the Vice President, the same level and style of management was exercised during the time the Vice President was Secretary of Education?
Again, Your Honor.
Yung management style po, yung pagpapatakbo ng opisina, magkaparehas po ba yung estilo ng pag-manage ni Vice President Sara sa Office of the Vice President at pati po sa bilang Secretary ng Department of Education?
Hindi po ako aware kung paano minamanage ni BP ang ED. But I am under the Office of the Director of Admin and Finance.
So hindi masyadong aware. What about
No,
you,
sir.
Attorney Sanchez? Was it the same management? How would you say? Was it the same?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but I cannot compare because I do not have personal knowledge on how she is managing that.
Okay. So thank you very much. Anyway, Mr. Chair, I have no further questions. I just wanted to um, answer some question. Villa del Rey. Salamat po, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ay, pahabol lang. Sorry, Mr. Chair.
Please continue.
Ma'am Del Rey, so sinabi nyo kanina na sundan nyo yung mga hearings natin, hindi po ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
At career official din po kayo. At nag-oath po kayo kanina. Nangako po na hindi po kayo magsisinungaling. Ma'am, kayo po ba yung nakakatanggap ng mga envelopes
Envelopes po na
na may laman na pera sa loob?
no, Your Honor.
Wala.
No, Your Honor.
Kasi sa DepEd may ganun eh. May parang payola silang ibinibigay sa mga pumipirma ng mga dokumento. Sa iyo po,
Wala po, Your Honor.
wala po kayo natanggap?
Wala po.
Ever since? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. The next interpellator is Congressman Valeriano.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Pwede po kay Miss Villa del Rey ulit. Ma'am, pagod ka na ba, ma'am? Di pa. Kaya pa?
Sir,
Gutom na po kayo.
hindi po.
Okay lang. Kanina po nasabi niyo, matagal na kayo sa OBP. Tama po?
Tama po.
Since 1990.
Tama po.
So halos 3 dekada na po yun, ano?
Tama po.
You were part of the staff of the Vice President Bredo.
Tama po.
Nakaraan. Tama po?
Tama po.
And under VP Robredo, you were, of course, in the preparation of the budget of the OBP for the fiscal year 2022. Yan po yung bago mag-eleksyon. Tama po?
Tama po.
As part of the finance accounting, you are aware of the contents of the budget of the OBP. Tama? Tandaan niyo po, including 2022.
Your Honor, the preparation of budget proposal is delegated to our budget officer.
Anyway, ma'am, ganito po. Meron akong dito, Comsec, yung budget ng OBP for 2022 and 2023 because I noticed some jumps between them. Pero kayang slide. Habang inantay po natin, 1 minute recess please. Nagutom na si Villa del Rey.
Committee hearing resumes. Congressman Valeriano.
Madam Del Rey, okay na po kayo?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ano lang po yung ayan po, nakita niyo. We can observe po may significant jumps from line item appropriation between for the year 2022 saka yung 2023 for the of course yung 2020 prepared na po yan ng present BP natin. The chief accountant, would it be fair to say na nagkamali ang OBP nung panahon ni BP Robredo when it prepared the budget for fiscal year 2022? Kaya mukhang liit, ma'am, yung budget nila ng 2022. Miss Villa Del Rey. Tingnan nagkamali ang Office of the Vice President, si Vice President Lenny Robredo noon, 2022 po. Maliit yung ano nila, yung budget nila noon.
No, Your Honor.
Tama po yun.
Tama po. At it was stated po in the GAA of 2022.
So could you help us understand why the budget of the EBP for the 2023 is significantly higher?
Yes po, Your Honor. Malaki po yung difference.
Ma'am, I'm looking at the notes to yung financial statement po for the year December 22 of states here that the supplies and materials yung nasa una po. Supplies and materials expense amounted to 53,483,403.47 for the year 2022. Habang ayon sa GAA 2022, 45,821,000 ang budget allocation ng OBP for supplies and maintenance. Clearly, above the budget allocated na po ang OBP for 22. Tama po, lumagpas to sa budget allocation.
Tama po, Your Honor.
Ito
Per
ma'am, yung-
GAA. Yes.
Mr. Chair, for everyone's guidance, under Note 18 of the Notes to Financial Statement, supply and materials expenses consist of office supply expenses, katulad ng mga folder, paper, ball pens, stapler, tama po. Welfare goods expenses, ang kasama dito ay mga ayuda o relief goods katulad ng gas, delata at tubig. Drugs and medicine expenses, ito ay ang mga gamot, vitamins na dinistribute sa bayan ni konsulta, pati rin sa swab cab and vaccine express sa mga taong na-expose sa COVID-19. Medical, dental, and laboratory supply expenses. Ito naman ay ang mga personal protective equipment o PPE na ginamit natin at pinamigay noong COVID-19. Semi-expendable machinery and equipment expenses and other supplies and material expenses. Tayo po ay pumunta sa allocation ng OBP under the General Appropriation Act, nakalagay sa GAA for 2022 na ang budget na nakalaan for supply and materials expenses for the year 2022 ay nasa halagang 45,821,000. Asan na yung slides? 45,821,000. Tama po? Ma'am?
Wala po yung slides.
Nawala ulit. Yung unang slide. Yan po. And ma'am, yung 45,821, para saan po itong supplies and materials expenses? Saan po ito ginamit o gagamitin?
Your Honor, for supplies and material expense for 2022,
2022.
yes, partly po, half for BP Lenny and half for BP
Yes,
Sara. Mostly supplies and materials of the office, welfare goods, medicines, fuel.
Yan po yung binanggit ko kanina, in-itemize ko halos.
Yes, sir.
Kapag tinignan mo yung GAA o yung General Appropriation Act for 2023 naman, ma'am, ang nakalaan na budget for supplies and material expenses for the year ay nasa halagang 272,230,000. Tama po ba yun?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Ibig sabihin, tumas ng approximately 494%, halos 500% po ang pondo na inallocate para sa naturang supplies and material expenses. Tama po?
Tama po.
Almost 5 times more money was allocated for the same expenses. Bakit tumaas ang halaga ng supplies and materials expenses for the year 2023? Ma'am, can you please give us an explanation to this item?
Sir, can I
Sige po.
endorse it to our budget officer for the explanation of the 2023 GAA?
Mr. Chair,
Sir.
I think
Mr. Kelvin, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, before I respond to the question, can I just read my opening statement supposedly? Kaso hindi ko na lang po na-submit prior to the hearing today. This is very short lang po.
Did you submit?
No, sir. No,
But
Mr.
under
Chair.
our rules, it's supposed to be, we should receive it 48 hours
Okay, sir.
before the,
I will proceed to answering the question.
yes, please answer na lang po.
Yes, that is correct that the budget of OVP for 2022 under supplies and materials is 45,821,000. And in 2023, it increased to 272,230,000. That is because during the budget legislation period, till such time na magkaroon ng BICAM, nagkaroon po kami ng coordination with, I think with DBM, to request for additional funding since yung 2023 po is the full year service of the new Vice President. So, breakdown po nung additional po 2023, which is equivalent to 227.8 million, relates to relief goods amounting to 120 million, school supplies 60 million, reproductive health items 30 million, supplies for the contract of service personnel 12.5 million, fuel, petroleum for the satellite offices 1.8 million, and additional po doon sa aming existing fleet equivalent to 3.5 million.
so. I mean, noong 2022, 45,821,000 ang supply and materials expenses ng OBP.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Ang nagamit is 53,483,463.47.
Based on the COA report, but I have different data po, sir, because I am... Sige, sir.
Anyway, pagdating ng 2023, ang na-request niya na is 272,230,000. So, hindi naman siguro ito pwedeng i-attribute sa inflation, di po ba?
Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chair, that's correct.
Sige. So, kay Ms. Villa del Rey po ulit. May bago bang employer ang OBP at the time ni BP Sara? Yung ba yung dahilan kung bakit tumaas ng almost 500% budget? Marami bang bagong employee dala-dala? Ano po?
Yes, based on record, sir, may mga additional employees ang Office of the Vice President under Sara.
Ma'am, masasabi niyo po ba kung ano basihan itong budget na to, yung 494% increase noong 2023?
Your Honor, considering yung mga bagong projects ng Office of considering new projects to be implemented by BP Sara and the new employees to be and the new employees hired under her administration po.
We're talking of supplies and materials expenses po.
Yes, Your Honor. There are new projects po under BP Sara na gagamit ng supplies and materials expenses.
So ang office supplies po ay mga bond paper, paper clip, ball pens, stapler, folder, at iba pa, tama po?
Tama po. Pero dito din po sa line item na supplies and materials na ito, kinukuha yung mga expenses for relief operations, pagbabago.
So, dumami din po yung empleyado ng OBP o kaya yung trabaho ng OBP at the time. So, sabihin natin na yung mga satellite office po nagkaroon, nadagdagan.
Tama po, nadagdagan po.
Pero ma'am, 500% ang increase ha. Wala ba kayong limit sa paggamit po o pag-procure ng mga office supplies o call to ng Vice President?
Based on the PPM honor and the annual procurement plan together with the work and financial plan prepared each implementing unit, Your Honor.
Second ma'am, may na-allocate budget para sa welfare goods expenses.
Yes, Your Honor.
Magkano po ang na-allocate para dito?
I do not have my records, Your Honor, as of now.
Ang para sa welfare good expenses po, ano yung niya, specific niya?
For relief operation, Your Honor.
So relief. So ang sakop ng welfare goods ay mga ayuda ng bigas, canned goods, damit. Tama po?
Rice and canned goods,
Po.
other items po, not clothes.
So kapansin-pansin na ayon sa audit report ng COA, noong 2022, ang pinakamalaki na gastusin ng OBP ay nagmula sa welfare goods expenses na kahalaga ng 19,597,581.50. To recall, sa mga panahon na iyon, meron pa po tayong COVID noon sa bansa. Ngunit ngayon, po ba nalagana pa rin ng COVID-19 na kailangan gumastos ng ganito kalaki? So ano ang basehan ng OBP sa paghingi ng malaking halaga ng welfare goods expenses po? Andiyan po, 19,597,581. Ma'am.
Your Honor, as far as I can remember, lifted na po ang pandemic.
Wala na po,
that
dineclare
time.
na rin ni President Marcos na lifted na. Sino po ang nag-spearhead ng mga relief operation ninyo kung saan ginastos yung mga nakalista puro sa welfare good
Your Honor, under the Special Projects Division as well center, Your Honor.
sa department po talaga?
Yes po.
Si BP Duterte po ba nagde-determine ng final amount ng budget to be requested?
As far as I know, Your Honor.
As far as you know. So alam po ni BP Duterte yung mga paggagastosan. Tama po?
Tama po.
Nag-allocate din ng budget para sa drugs and medicine expenses, ma'am. Magkano yung na-allocate? Ayun po.
For your question to our budget officer, Your Honor, Sir Kelvin.
Mr. Chair.
For
Mr.
the
Kelvin,
budget,
you're
Mr.
recognized. Kelvin. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Two, under drugs and medicine expenses of financial accountability report, the allocated amount was 1.6 million.
Point. Di ba 1.7?
Sir, based on our obligation figures, the amount is 1,601,745 and 25 centavo.
That is for 2022.
Yes, Mr.
Magkano ang na-consume?
That is the actual amount utilized for the fiscal year 2022, Mr. Chair.
Kasama dito yung e-consulta care kits, beneficiaries of the swab cab and vaccine express at iba pa noong COVID-19, tama? 2022.
I cannot Mr. Chair, but kung yung concern po is about sa gamot na binili and then binigay sa beneficiary, dito po siya account na ito pasok.
Again, sino po yung nagdidikta si Vice President sa bayan?
In 2022, the bulk of the, out of 1.6, sir, Mr. Chair, 1.57 million utilized, obligated.
From January to June 30, ano na-utilize doon sa 1 point?
Okay, sir. For first quarter, 1.57 million. For second quarter, 590 pesos.
Magkano ba yung total niya sa 1 year?
I'm sorry, Mr. Chair.
Magkano yung total niya for 1 year, 2022?
1,601,745 and 25 centavo.
So yung first 2 quarter, magkano na-consume?
More or less 1,570,898 and 75 pesos.
So mga so yung 12 million na consume ng 2 quarter, July to December, tama?
July to December, yung remaining po, 13,874, 16,981.50 centavos.
Okay. May nakalamban na pondo yung medical, dental, and laboratory supply expenses. Magkano po hiningi ni OBP para dito?
In the year, sir, ang naging allotment available po for medical, dental, and laboratory supplies is equivalent, this is for fiscal year 2022, 11,259,400 pesos and 33 centavos.
Again, 11 million.
11,259,433 centavos.
Ito yung ano, no, yung PE, Personal Protective Equipment, sinuot natin nun sa COVID-19.
Yes, sir. Kasama po iyon.
Sige. Ayon sa notes to financial statement for the year November 2022 ng OBP, kabilang sa medical, dental, and laboratory supply expenses ang PPE. So, noong 2023, wala ng COVID-19, tama? Sige, sir.
Mr. Chair, noong 2023, wala na po kaming COVID operations within
So
the
ano
OBP.
ang basis ng OBP sa gingi ng ito kalaki na pera again? Yung 2023 budget nila.
Um, Mr. Chair, for 2023, under medical, dental, and laboratory expenses,
Magkano yung 2023 budget nila dyan?
wala pong naka-allocate but we have actual utilization po of 347,000.
Yes, 300.
47,000.
Yun doon naman tayo sa fuel, oil, and lubricant expenses. Magkano nakalaan na budget dito? Ayon sa note financial statement ng December 2022 ng OBP, ang fuel, oil, and lubricant expenses ay tumaas dahil sa pagdami ng motor vehicle sa operation ng OBP. Madam Villar del Rey, tama po?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Alam niyo po kung ilan ang mga motor vehicles ng OBP noong 2022?
I don't have my number, Your Honor, with me today.
Wala. Ito pong 2020, alam niyo po kung ilan?
Same, Your Honor, wala po ako.
The same, wala. So ano po ang naging basis ng OBP sa paghingi nila ng budget na to?
Your Honor, in 2023, there are procurements po of transportation equipment.
Again, ma'am?
There are procurement po of transportation equipment, motor vehicles, Your Honor.
Kotse.
I cannot recall your of the procurement.
Pero 500% halos ma-increase. Meron pa bang items na nakapaloob doon sa supplies and material expenses maliban doon sa na-itemize ko po?
Your Honor, under supplies and material expenses, as mentioned po, office supplies expenses, welfare goods expenses, drugs and medicines expenses, medical, dental, and laboratory supplies expenses, fuel, oil, and lubricants, semi-expendable machinery equipment, and semi-expendable furniture fixtures and books expenses, and other supplies and materials expenses, Your Honor.
Then, ma'am, sino po ulit ang nagre-request sino nag-request ng budget for year 2023? Si BP Duterte po, tama?
Under the administration po, please, Sarah.
Sino ang nag-approve ng budget for year 2022? Si BP Duterte po ba? Final say.
I cannot recall po who is the signatory of the final proposal.
Pero kung siya nag-approve ng yun, clearly, hindi naman po historical data ang naging basehan ng OBP upang ma-justify yung 272,230,000 for almost 100%. To be exact, ma'am, 494% increase in budget allocation for 2023. Kasi kung historical data ang magiging basehan, sobrang laki ng difference between the amount actually spent by the OBP in supplies and material expenses in 2022 from the amount allocated OBP to the same line item in 2023. Ano kaya yung dahilan, ma'am? Ba't ganun kalaki yung allocation ng 2023? Meron kayong idea?
Uh, Your Honor, based on the new projects of the budget, as well as for the creation of the satellite offices.
Because of the new projects,
New projects to be implemented under the administration of VP Duterte, as well as the creation of the 10 satellite offices.
satellite offices.
Tama po.
Ano pong mga materials o gamit na binili niyo for the year 2023? Under what category niyo binili yun?
Your Honor, under supplies and materials, Your
Yeah,
Honor.
yes. Kasi if you have to compare the expenses ng 2022, yung welfare goods expenses, yes. Can we say na under this category din po ang majority ng mga ginastos nyo ando sa welfare goods expenses? Tama, ma'am?
Your Honor.
Yung halos majority ng ginastos nyo nando sa welfare goods expenses.
Tama po, Your Honor.
Ano naman yung mga materyales o gamit na binili sa dating budget for year 2022 na hindi nagamit hindi na magamit noong 2023? I mean, man, meron bang natira ng 2022?
For the budget, Your Honor,
Yes.
remaining budget of 2022 ay naging continuing appropriation to be added 2023.
I mean, ma'am, wala bang natira yung mga medicine, dental, and laboratory supply expenses 2022 going to 2023? Siguro naman kahit kaunti, ma'am, merong mga ginastos na makikerry over from 2022 to 2023. Tama po?
Most of the 2022, Your Honor, medical, dental, and laboratory supplies are utilized for the operation under BP.
So, walang natira. Again, ulit, ma'am?
Most of the medical, dental, and laboratory supplies expenses disbursed in 22 are utilized for COVID operation, Your Honor.
So, walang carry over. Wala pong napunta ng 23. Ubos.
Hindi po ako sure, Your Honor, pero wala na rin po kaming, nag-stop na rin ang COVID operation nung at Your Honor.
Sige po. 494% yung increase kasi sa project na bago. So substantially different ba yung mga initiative at programa ninyo sa OBP noong 2023 sa 2022 na kinailangan yung bumili ng bagong materyales kasi bigla po nag-jump ng 494% yung budget eh. Gaano ba kaganda yung programa na yan, ma'am?
Sir, since 2022 po is pandemic pa, so wala pang movement, wala pang masyadong mga projects na pwedeng i-implement. That is why po, nung pumasok ang new administration, nag-end na ng pandemic, there are new projects na pinopose under the new administration.
Ma'am, noong 2020 ang pandemic po hanggang 2022, tama?
Yes, Your Honor.
Noong 2019, wala pang pandemic. Malaki
Wala.
rin ang budget ng OBP noon.
Wala pa po. Wala po akong comparison ng 2019. Your
Pero
Honor.
sa experience niyo po, ma'am, ito bang 2023 is the highest budget compared to the previous budget?
Based on record, sir, yes po.
Yes. So in 2019, walang pandemic. 2020, may pandemic. So ang common denominator of these expenses are attribution to the COVID-19 pandemic, which as we know by now has already been largely kept at bay. Practically, wala na pong COVID-19 pandemic ngayon. O ba? Wala na. Mas strictly social distancing in person naman. Wala na po, ano?
Voluntary, Your
Yes,
Honor.
yun yung sinasabi kanina. Through Proclamation 297 issued last June 21, the President has lifted the state of public health emergency due to COVID-19. Tama po, ano?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Nagugulat lang kami sa 494 increase sa budget. Almost 5 times more for this line item. When in the first place, the actual expenditure of the OBP for the supplies and materials expenses in 2022 was actually very low in comparison. May naisip ka ba, ma'am, na dahilan kung bakit may malaking pagkakaiba sa expenditure ng 2022 to 2023? Because of the project again
Yes, Your Honor, and the 10 satellite offices.
and the satellite offices. So, from 53 million to 272 million times 5. Ma'am, what are the different materials that year 2023 needed to procure from the materials procured from by the year 2002 budget? Was there a significant price difference between then and now?
Sir, Your Honor, may I refer your request to our Director for Admin Finance?
Mr. Chair.
Attorney Sanchez,
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Your Honor, as mentioned by our Chief Accountant, there were new projects of the OVP in 2023, namely the Pagbabago Campaign, A Million Nurse and Trees Program. Pagbabago Campaign, Your Honor.
Slowly, ma'am. Ano yung bagong project po?
Pagbabago Campaign, Your Honor.
O
Campaign.
billion
Learners and Trees.
and it costs 150 million.
For the Pagbabago Campaign, Your Honor, around 90 million. I'll just confirm, Your Honor, from the
Ma'am, ano
exact
itong
amount.
pagbabago campaign? Ano po ito?
Sir, for the Pagbabago Campaign, the OVP has a target of giving school bags with school supplies and dental kits to school children. At least, the target is 1 million school children for the entire term of the Vice President, Sara Duterte, Your Honor. So
Ma'am,
for-
we are talking of 2023 budget
Yes.
lang.
So for 2023, Your Honor, the target was set at 200,000, Your Honor. 200,000 beneficiaries, Your Honor.
200,000 bags in short.
Yes, Your Honor.
And yung million, ano yung million learner?
Yun po yung component nung program, A Million Learners program po yung target. And then may counterpart po siya, that is the A Million Trees campaign. But for the A Million Trees campaign, very minimal expenses lang because it only entails tree planting, and the target is 1 million trees as well. So 200,000.
So yung dalawang project po yun, tama
Yes.
bang worth 220 million per year?
Your Honor, for
Almost.
it's just one of the new programs of the OVP.
So marami pang project.
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, this increase in supplies and materials expenses is extremely alarming. An increase of almost 494% or a budget of 45,821,000 in 2022 to 270,230 million in 2023 nang breakdown ng 272,230 para lamang sa supply and materials. Kaya naman, Mr. Chair, I move that the COA furnish us a copy of the said audited financial statement of 2023 relating to the OBP. So I move, Mr. Chair.
Is there any second motion? Duly seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is carried.
Kay Ms. Villa Del Ripo ulit. Tayo po naman ay pumunta sa budget na nakalaan for professional services. Ayon sa GAA for 2022, ang budget na nakalaan po for professional services ay nasa halagang 41,777,000 for the year 2022. Ma'am, para saan po itong professional services na to?
Your Honor, professional services comprised of auditing services, consultancy services, and other professional services, Your Honor.
Okay. So, sino-sino yung mga auditor nyo? Di po ba meron ng COA ang auditor ng, di ba COA ang auditor ng OBP? Meron pa po bang internal?
Yes, Your Honor, COA resident auditor.
Regarding mo sa consultant, sino-sino naman po yun? Meron kayong mga consultants din?
Yes, Your Honor, they are the consultants under the new administration, Your Honor.
So, yun po yung sa 41 million. Ma'am, sino-sino yung mga dati consultant ng year 2022? Meron po kayong listahan pa dyan?
For the resident auditor, Your Honor, as detailed by COA is Sir Joshua Palitic, and I think ATL po is Joshua Palitic for 2022.
Okay, so gaano kadalas nag-audit at time ba sa as of year 2022 tsaka 20? Gaano kadalas po pumupunta ron?
For auditing services, sir, they are resident in the OBP. They have in the OBP. So for the auditing services, these are the expenses incurred by the auditing services, communication, fuel, nakalamp po ito under one account, auditing services.
Comsec, meron pang slide dyan regarding professional services. Pakita lang po sa monitor. Ayan. For the benefit, would you kindly enlighten us to what expenses were for? We would like to know po ano itong other professional services. Madam Villa Del Rey.
Yes. Your Honor, for a total of 56,140,892.26, this is pertaining to 2022 expenses of the Office of the Vice President for professional services. For the 74,990,000, Your Honor, it is not the amount indicated in our audit report.
Magkano po yung sa audit report niyo?
For 2023, Your Honor, the total professional services, 62,698,445.
600.
62,698,445.41.
Sige ma'am, ano po yung ibig sabihin ng other professional services? Ano po yung other professional services? Meron na kayo auditing services, consultancy services. Ano yung other professional services?
Other professional services, Your Honor, includes the payment of service fees, premium and gratuity pay to contract of service personnel. It also includes the payment of the service personnel of the libreng sakay buses.
personnel of the libreng sakay buses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ano po to? Driver ng bus?
Driver and conductor, Your Honor.
So, 40,689,743,700.30 for 2022.
Tama po, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you agree with me, ma'am, that the term other professional expenses is necessarily vague? Kasi tinanong ko pa nga eh. Professional expenses, ma'am. Other professional services. Ma'am, ano pagkakaiba ng auditing services and consultancy services?
Auditing services, sir, pertaining to our resident auditor from COA. And consultancy services are the consultants under the Office of the President. Technical consultants, sir.
Again, auditing services pertaining to
Pertaining to COA resident auditor detailed in the Office of Vice President. And consultancy services pertaining to technical consultants hired in the Office of the Vice President.
So yun po yung consultancy services hired by the Vice President. 166.89. Tama po.
Tama po, for 2022, Your Honor.
For 2023, tama po ni amount na yun, 23 million plus.
For 2023, Your Honor, auditing services, 216,368,000. 216,368, and for consultancy services, total of 3,447,502 pesos and 19 centavos, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, I would like to manifest that it appears here that the OBP engaged other professionals contains the biggest expenditure of an item under professional services for 2022 amounting to 44,689,743.30. Nakakapagtaka, Mr. Chair, kung saan pinaggastusan ng professional services maliban sa auditing services and consultancy services. Ayon din po sa notes to financial statement, the total expenditure for professional services for the year 2022 was in the amount of 6,140,892 pesos and 96, which is higher than the allowed budget for the same year. Ibig sabihin, lagpas ang OBP sa budget. Tama po, Ms. Villa del Rey.
Your Honor, hindi ko po siya ma-compare since wala ko nung ibang figures.
Paano nyo pala hinahanda po itong budget? Kasi ba sa historical data to?
May I refer your question, sir, to our budget officer?
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Kelvin, you are recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, with regard to the preparation of budget, one of the consideration, historical cost of the
Historical
OBP. And then second is if we have required additional COSPs or to expand yung
Po,
ng OVP.
yun lang muna. Ano ibig sabihin ng historical data? So, bali yan yung para sa year 2022.
For year 2022, sir, we usually refer back to the previous year. But in this case, nagkakaroon po kami ng additional consideration since new administration po yung gagalaw for 2023 compare doon sa actual nung 2021.
Since bago yung administration, may bagong consideration?
Bagong consideration, depende po sa requirement na manpower ng mga satellite offices and the central office.
Sige po. ayon sa GAA for 2023, ang budget na nakalaan sa professional services ay nasa halaga ng 193,950,000, which is a 365% increase from the budget allocated to professional services in 2022. Halos 4 times na increase po ito. Bakit po tumaas ng sobra ang budget for professional services in 2023? Ms. Villa del Rey, please give us an explanation po dito. 365% ang tinaas.
Your Honor, our budget for 2023 is based on, as mentioned by Sir Kelvin Tanido, is President, with the implementation of new projects and creation of 10 satellite offices.
Ma'am, what is the difference between year 2022 and year 2023 with respect to the need for professional services? Ba't kinakailangan po 365% yung increase ng budget? Malaki ba yung pangangailangan ng 2023?
Yes, Your Honor, with the creation of 10 satellite offices and the limited plantilla positions available in the Office of the Vice President, we have to hire personnel under contract of service.
So, may ma'am ng Q1 2022 to December 2022, hindi nakapag-function maayos ang Vice President? Kasi maliit lang po nun yung professional services.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, hindi ko po kayang sagutin. Wala akong mga available figures for comparison.
56,140,892.96 po ang cover report ng 2022, while in GAA 2023, 193,950,000, 64%. So I mean, nung July 1 po, 2022, bagong administration na yon. Anyway, ma'am, what projects did the OBP head that are supposedly different from what the previous OBP had?
Almost all of the under the new administration is new, Your Honor. Previous administration, the focus of projects is COVID operations.
Nung 2022 COVID operation.
Yes, Your Honor.
So noong 2023, maraming project, kaya 365% increase in professional services, or will cost around 3 times more than what was actually spent in 2022. Tama ba, ma'am?
Tama po.
Bakit marami po kayong na-hire na consultants noong 2023?
2023, sir, is few consultants only, more on contract of service personnel, Your Honor.
Again?
For consultancy, Your Honor, only consultants were hired. Most charges under the professional services are from personnel under contract of service.
Contract of service. Tapos, bakit po kayo nag-hire ng auditor kung mayroon namang COA? Ano pang ino-audit po?
No, sir. Hire ng auditor, ang auditing services po na nandito is for the expenses incurred ng COA resident auditor sa OBP.
Okay. Mr. Chair, habang umusad ang ating discussion tungkol sa pagwaldas ng OBP ng perang taong bayan, marami ang mga katanungan at ni isang sagot o paliwanag ang ating hindi natin nakukuha. Kagaya nito, gumastos ng mahigit 44 million ng OBP sa other professional services na hindi man lang pinangalanan ng OBP. As far as I am concerned, and I believe the Filipino people agree, is that aside from auditing and consultancy services, there is no other professional services needed by the OBP. If indeed such professional services were not tainted with fraud or malice, then OBP should have at least provided an item describing such. Mr. Chair, nakakado. Hindi lamang barya yung 44 million na pinagpagura ng taong bayan para lang gastahin ng basta-basta ng OBP. Ma'am, dito naman po tayo sa susunod na line item, financial assistance. Sa 2022 ang nakalaan na budget para dito ay halagang 357,600,000.
Your Honor, under the assistance subsidy account,
Financial assistance subsidy. Apo. GAA 2022.
there's
357 million.
our records is 378,820,757 pesos and 65 centavos, Your Honor.
Itong na-consume.
Yes po, Your Honor.
Pero yung nasa GAA 2022, 357,600,000.
Tama po, Your Honor.
So, Comsec, ano yung slide para makita rin po ni Miss Villa Del Rey. Ayon sa note to financial statement for 2022, yung assistance subsidy amounted to 378,820,000.6 for the year 2022. The assistance subsidy was broken down as follows. Ayan, ma'am. On the other hand, under note 18 of the notes to financial statement, subsidies other consisted of the following. Comsec, merong, ayan. Medical, burial assistance, ayan ma'am, tuloy-tuloy na yan. Mr. Chair, once again, an examination of the figures clearly indicates that the OBP exceeded its budget allocation for 2022 on the item of assistance subsidy. While OBP assistance and provided subsidies in the form of financial, medical, burial, educational, and livelihood assistance, it cannot go unnoticed that the OBP must be limited to the budget allocated for this specific purpose. The sole discretion on the part of the OBP cannot be misconstrued to be an act of liberality or generosity, as it cannot decide whimsically on how to spend the people's money, especially considering that it is beyond what is allocated. Again, it appears that the OBP exceeded its budget allocation for year 2022. Tama po ba, ma'am?
Mr. Chair, may I be recognized?
357,600,000 yung nasa ang nagamit 378,820,757.
What is the pleasure of Attorney Sanchez?
Mr. Chair, may I be recognized to respond to the question, Your
Sige
Honor?
po.
Sige, you are recognized.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, for 2022, we received a supplemental budget from the DBM covering financial assistance and subsidy, Your Honor. In addition, Mr. Chair, under the GAA, the government agency has the authority to modify a certain amount of up to a certain extent its budget of the account, Your Honor.
Hindi ma'am, wala naman pong problem doon. Sinasabi ko lang po, nung GAA 2022, ang original budget 327,600,000. Ang na-consume is 378. May supplemental pero kinulang talaga yung 357. Tama po.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ano ulit yung proseso sa paghahanda ng budget allocations? Ma'am, si Miss Villa del Rey. Ma'am, ano ang proseso sa paghahanda ng budget allocation?
Ms. Villa del Rey.
Your Honor, based on historical data,
Based on
Yeah.
historical data. Sino-sino yung mga taong involved sa decision making o sa approval? CBP.
Your Honor,
Sino-sino pa yung mga taong involved sa decision making o sa pag-approve ng budget?
for the project proposal, Your Honor,
The
it
Vice
is
President.
not only the Vice President, we have the Budget Officer, we have the Planning Officer, and with the Director for APSO, and also the top management, Your Honor.
For the year 2023, the budget allocated to financial assistance subsidy ay tumaas sa halagang 928,000. This is almost 157% increase o halos 2 times na increase po ito. Tama, ma'am? Tama po.
More or less, Your Honor.
Again, ma'am, can you give us an explanation as to why the amount allocated for this line item in 2023 differ substantially from the amount allocated to and actually spent by the OBP in 2022? Masyadong malaki.
Yes, Your Honor, because of the creation of the new satellite offices, yes, sir, and the implementation
New
of
project.
medical and burial assistance also to be implemented in satellite offices, not only in central office, and also other projects under the subsidy account, Your Honor.
So that is 2022 to 2023. Tama po?
Yes, Your Honor.
Dito naman tayo sa representation expenses, ma'am. Under the GAA 2022, the OBP was allocated an amount of 29,752,000 in representation expenses. Ayon sa note 18.19 of the notes to his financial statement, this representation expenses refer to expenditures, representation expenses of the Vice President, including regular and special meetings, including local security augmentation during travel of the Vice President provinces. Tama? Tama, ma'am?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Mr. Chair, I understand that the representation expenses are incurred when the Vice President attends regular and special meetings, including the security details she needs while she travels. It seems that as if the OBP through the item of presentation expense is charging a talent fee in every meeting she attends. This is akin to a talent to a celebrity for public appearance or guesting in TV show. This absurd, Mr. Chair, again. Public office is public trust. Holding a seat in government, the second most powerful in the country to be exact, is not a golden 2022, ayon ulit sa note to financial statements, it appears that representation expenses of the amount 16,757,436,000.88, noticeably below the budget allocated for this item for 2022. Tama, ma'am? Ibig po ba sabihin hindi nagastos lahat ng budget allocated for representation expenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
16. Meron pong 12,994,563.12 na hindi ginastos ng OBP for representation expenses noong 2022. Tama, ma'am? 12,994,563.12.
Tama po, Your Honor.
Nevertheless, despite the fact that OBP did not spend what it anticipated in 2022, sa GAAT 2023, ang nakalaad na budget for representation expenses became 79,310,000 or an increase of approximately 168% from last year's budget. Ano po yung basihan nyo rito? May natirang representation expenses ng 2022 and yet sa 2023 mas malaki yung request nyo, 168% compared to 2022. Sige, tapos.
Yes, Your Honor. The significant increase is based on expansion of the office with the 10 satellite offices and 2 extension offices in addition to the central office, Your Honor, for the representation expenses of the Vice President.
Pero ma'am, 2022, natirang kayo ng budget sa representation expenses. Siya na rin po ang Vice President nung kalahating taon.
Yes, Your Honor, it was added to the 2023 GAA as continuing appropriation.
Sige, siguro Mr. Chair, tuloy ko na lang for second round. Medyo mahaba na yung tanong. Thank you, Mr.
The next interpellator is Congresswoman Jinky Luistro. Ma'am, but before I recognize you, ma'am, may tatanong lang ako, few lang. Ma'am Juliet, I do not know if my question should be answered by Ms. Julieta or Atty. Sanchez. Ma'am, ilan po ba yung satellite office nyo? Would you know?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, we have 10 satellite offices and
10
1 extension office as of today, Your Honor.
10 satellite
Yes,
offices. Okay. So would you know kung ilan po, kung saan po yung mga satellite offices nyo?
yes, Mr. Chair. For Luzon, we have 1 in Isabela, that's our Cagayan Valley satellite office.
Isabela,
Yes.
and then
We also have in Pangasinan, in
Pangasinan.
Dagupan, Your Honor. We also have in Region 5 in Bicol, Your Honor, in Legazpi
ano pa?
City.
Bicol.
Bicol, Your Honor, in Legazpi City.
So
Your
tatlo
Honor.
sa Luzon.
Yes, Your Honor.
And then
For Visayas, we have 1 in Cebu City in Cebu, and that covers Cebu, Bohol, and Siquijor area.
Cebu,
Bohol, and Siquijor, but the office is located in Cebu City.
Cebu. Okay.
Yes, and we also have 1 for Panay and Negros Islands, and that is located in Bacolod City.
Panay Negros, and then
Located in Bacolod City.
Bacolod.
Yes. And we also have for Eastern Visayas located in Tacloban City. Your
In
Honor. Tacloban.
Tacloban. And then in Mindanao,
In Mindanao, Your Honor, we have 4 satellite offices. For Southern Mindanao Satellite Office, it's located in Davao City.
Davao,
For Caraga, it's located in Butuan.
Butuan,
And for Western Mindanao Satellite Office, it's located in Zamboanga City.
Zamboanga,
And the last one is for BARM, it's located in Cotabato City.
Cotabato.
And in addition, Your Honor, we have an extension office in Tondo, Manila. Yes,
Manila.
Your Honor.
So all in all, 11.
Satellite offices and one extension office. Your Honor, there was also a period of time wherein we operated an extension office in Lipa, Batangas.
Lipa, Batangas.
Yes.
Okay. So never na nangyari po na ang inyong satellite office ay naging 34?
No, no,
Wala
Your
po.
Honor.
Okay, sige. Thank you po.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Ah,
Mr. Chair.
Can I just interject?
Please.
Comji?
The COMSEC would like to write.
Good afternoon, Your Honors. Welcome to the hearing, Vice Chairperson Honorable Crispin 7 District of Cavite and Honorable Micaela Angela B. Swansing from the 1st District of Nueva Ecija. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. With the indulgence of Congresswoman Luis Tro, the Chair would like to recognize Deputy Speaker J.J. Suarez.
Yeah, Attorney Sanchez, good afternoon. Attorney Sanchez, earlier you were enumerating your satellite offices and special satellite office. Is that correct?
Mr.
Extension
it's
office.
Extension office, Your Honor.
So anong pinakaiba nung special? Is that the
Extension office, Your
yeah.
Honor. The satellite offices, Your Honors, Mr. Chair, perform or rolls out all the projects of the central office, Your Honor. So all the projects that includes the medical and burial assistance program, the Pagbabago a Million Learners and Trees campaign, the Pansa, Your Honor, libre sakay for the 3 satellite offices, Your Honor, because we
Yeah.
only have limited buses.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I just wanted to get an idea. And then you mentioned you have one in Tondo. What is that?
Yes. That's an extension office, Your Honor. The function is limited to receiving medical and burial assistance, Your Honor.
And I'm sure that all these satellite offices, given the funds that have been allocated to the Office of the Vice President, are properly manned, operated, maintained,
Yes, Your Honor.
complete with staff and security guards.
Your Honor, the security guards, we just started in 2023, Your Honor. But we only started assigning security guards in 2023, Your Honor. But yes, Your Honor, you are correct.
So up to present, nandun pa yon.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Pati yung mga satellite offices nyo sa Tondo, ganun.
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you aware of an incident that happened in August 8, 2024?
Your Honor, are you referring to the incident in Tondo, Manila, Your Honor? Where?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah. Can you enlighten the committee as to the incident that happened in August 8, 2024?
Your Honor, based on my knowledge, there was a looting incident in Tondo, Manila, Your Honor.
There was a
Looting incident.
incident
A robbery incident, Your Honor.
na nilooban yung office ninyo, di ba?
Yes, Your Honor.
Na kanina sinabi mo lang sa akin, properly manned, properly maintained, properly operated, and since 2023, may security guard. Tama?
Your Honor, I stand corrected, Your Honor. For the Tondo Satellite Office, initially we did not assign a security guard because, as I mentioned, the operations of the satellite
Earlier, I
extension
asked you,
office.
and you confirmed. Now, when I asked you about this incident in Tondo, you cannot be adjusting your answers and you know.
I apologize, Your Honor.
But in any case, so about this looting incident, what was lost in that incident of burglary in Tondo?
From my knowledge, Your Honor, the report that I received is that there were just food items which were lost. The CCTV, but as far as I recall, as far as I know, Your Honor, it was already recovered.
So yun yung isang pinagtataka ko, Mr. Chair, kasi nabanggit po ni Attorney Sanchez, no, na maintained, operated, well-funded yung kanilang mga opisina, extension offices. In fact, one time, the issue of security personnel deployed to the office of the Vice President was an issue. And then you also mentioned that security guards were also deployed in your offices. And yet, you know, we have incidents of this na isang alam na tanggapan ng pangalawang pinakamataas na opisyal sa ating bansa ay nalooban at napagnakawan pa. So I just wanted to stress that point, Mr. Chair, so that we can take due notice of that incident. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker J.J. Suarez. The chair would like to recognize Congresswoman Luis Tro.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I wish to raise my questions to Ms. Villa Del Rey. Ma'am, you confirm that you are the Chief Accountant of OVP.
Yes, Your Honor.
May we know how long have you been working at the Office of the Vice President?
I was started in the OBP since 1990, Your Honor. I'm already in my 34th year.
1990.
Yes, Your Honor.
Can you please share with us who was the Vice President then?
It was still Vice President Doy Laurel, Your Honor.
Doy Laurel.
Salvador Laurel.
My question for you, Ms. Villa Del Rey. Would it be correct to say that during the time of Vice President Duterte, there are two kinds of key officials? One are those who have been with the OVP for so long a time, like you. And the other kind are those who came along with the Vice President, either Davao City LGU or from her electoral campaign. Would that be correct?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Kapag sinabi po ba natin na key officials who have been with the OBP for so long a time, tama po bang tawagin to na career officials?
Tama po, Your Honor.
And with respect to those who came along with the Vice President, either from the Davao City LGU or from her electoral campaign, are these what we call the coterminous officials?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Just for the enlightenment of the committee, Ms. Villa Del Rey, can you please cite at least some names of the key officials of VP who are career?
SG24 Division Head, Your Honor, down the to rank and file, Your Honor. All other officials are coterminous or appointed officials.
You said SG24 down to rank and file are career officials.
Tama po, Your
So
Honor.
would it be correct to say that if the officials are higher than SG24, these are the confidential officials?
Coterminous and confidential officials, Your Honor.
What is the difference, if there is any, between coterminous and confidential officials?
For coterminous employees, officials, Your Honor, they are, as I understand din po ito, is within the term po of the current administration or the current Vice President.
And how about confidential officials, if there's any difference?
Same coterminous, Your Honor.
So there is no difference at all between coterminous and confidential officials. As a matter of fact, I have observed that these two terminologies are being used interchangeably. Do you confirm that, Ms. Villa Del Rey?
For me, Your Honor, yes po.
Okay. With respect to confidential officials or coterminous officials, can you please name some or few officials who were brought in to the OVP by Vice President Duterte?
Based on the positions, Your Honor, we have the Chief of Staff, the Assistant Chief of Staff, the Director for Operations, the Director for SMO, Director for Admin and Finance, and all other coterminous employees under the
To the special disbursing officer,
yes,
what salary grade is SDO?
for our SDO for confidential is if ako is SG24.
SG24, but earlier you said if it is SG24 down to rank and file, that is career officials. And if that is higher than S24, then that will be confidential officials. Can you please enlighten us on this?
There are positions po na SG24 but they are not division heads under career or under permanent plantilla positions, Your Honor.
How many SDO do you have?
I cannot recall, Your Honor, but we have SDO for various activities. We have SDO for confidential fund.
And you confirm that the SDO for Gina Costa.
Yes, Your Honor.
And what salary grade is that?
SG24, Your Honor.
SG24 career official.
Non-career po.
Non-career official. Ms. Villa del Rey, I understand that August 20 of the Vice President requested for augmentation fund, which includes confidential fund. Do you confirm this?
Your Honor, may I refer your question to our budget officer?
Yes, please.
Mr. Kelvin, you're
Mr. Chair, I confirm that there was a request to DBM for August 20, in August FY 2022.
May we know, sir, how long have you been connected to the OVP?
I have been with OVP since 2014, since former Vice President Binay, ma'am. Mr.
Vice
Chair.
President Binay. So I believe that you are in the best position to answer whether during the time of Vice President Leni Robredo, mayroon din po bang confidential fund nung time ni Vice President Leni Robredo?
There was no confidential fund during the term of Vice President Leni Robredo.
There was no confidential fund during the time of Vice President Leni Robredo. How about during the time of Vice President Jejomar Binay?
I am not a budget officer during that time, ma'am, so I have no knowledge. But per records, I think earlier years of his term, meron pong confidential fund.
Would you be able to enlighten us how many times did Vice President Binay requested for confidential funds during his term?
I cannot give definite answer, but upon checking the documents available, there was a series of correspondences regarding confidential fund. However, there is also correspondences reflecting to return or to revert back the release of confidential fund.
There are sources which say that Vice President Jejomar Binay had confidential fund only once. But of course, this is subject to your verification.
I will check, Madam Mr. Chair.
I wish to Ms. Villa del Rey, but I not mind if you will continue answering my questions. She's temporarily out. Would it be correct to say, sir, since there are no confidential funds during the time of Vice President Robredo, and Vice President Jejomar Binay only had once, would it be correct to say that the career officials of Vice President of the Office of the OVP during the time of Vice President Sara are not used or inexperienced with respect to confidential fund?
I would agree, Mr. Chair. However, we are always guided by certain circulars or guidelines.
And if you agree that the career officials are inexperienced with respect to confidential fund, there being no confidential fund during the time of the former vice presidents, to be particular, Robredo and Pinay, would it be correct to say that it is the confidential officials of Vice President Duterte who are experienced with respect to confidential funds?
I have no information share with regard to the experience of the coterminous or confidential employees of this administration.
Do you know Yusek Sulaika Lopez?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Would you know where she came from before she assumed her position at the OVP?
During that time, I think she was previously she was the city administrator of.
And would you know how long she was employed as city administrator?
Mr. Chair, I have no information.
But at least would you know how long was she connected with the VAUC LGU prior to OVP stint?
I cannot remember, but during the first, I think payroll, of course, attachment of those documents are the service records, but I have no exact or number of years to tell the committee of Attorney Sulaika Lopez as MP of the Davao LGU.
How about Miss Gina Acosta? Do you know her?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Would you know where she came from?
Same from Davao LGU.
Do you know how long she was connected to Davao City LG prior to her assumption of office at the OVP?
No, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, I just want to manifest that during the previous hearings, we were able to present already before the committee the confidential funds of the city of Davao since 1988. And if my memory serves me right, during the time of then Mayor Sara Duterte, the confidential fund was 420 million, and then it was raised to 460 million until she finished her term as mayor of Davao City. Having this in mind, sir,
Mr. Chair.
would you agree with me if I would say that Yusek Sulaika Lopez and SDOG Costa are well experienced with the confidential fund?
I cannot surmise, Mr. Chair, because I have no knowledge of their position or participation in the Davao LGU.
Let us proceed to the fiscal and financial plan. I hope you are in the position to answer this. May we request the Secretary to please flash the fiscal and financial plan. Based on this document, sir, the OVP requested for 250 million confidential funds. This is for the fourth quarter of 2022. Naka-assume lang po ng opisina ng ating si Presidente. And this is for the implementation of the Good Governance Program. Do you confirm this?
I confirm the document, Mr. Chair.
According to this document, the amount of 250 million confidential funds is supposed to be spent for a period of 3 months, equivalent to 90 days, representing the fourth quarter of 2022. Tama po ba?
I confirm, Mr. Chair.
And that would mean October, November, and December of 2022.
I agree, Mr.
Confirm?
Chair.
And of course, you are aware also that the entire amount of 250 million was not approved. Am I correct?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And what was approved by the DBM only was 125 million. Tama po? Considering that the program that was presented to the DBM for that 250 million is 3 months, equivalent to 90 days, representing the last 3 months of the year 2022. Tama po bang sabihin that with regards to the approved 125 million confidential fund, this is supposed to be spent for a period of 1.5 months, equivalent to 45 days, part of the last quarter of 2022.
I cannot tell that the amount of 125 million must be spent for 1.5 months, ma'am. Because
But if we will be basing it on the fiscal and financial plan, which presented the 250 million as expenses to be incurred for the last quarter of 2022, which is equivalent to 3 months or 90 days, if the DBM approve only 1/2, then it is reasonable to assume 125 million representing 1/2 is supposed to be spent in 1/2 number of days of the supposed 90 days. And that is 45 days. Is that a reasonable interpretation?
yes, Mr. Chair, I think
It
that's
is a reasonable interpretation. Of course, to manifest to the committee, 250 million po ang request na confidential fund good governance program. This is supposed to be spent during the last quarter of 2022. That is 3 months, equivalent to 90 days, and to be specific, the month of October, November, and December of the year 2022. Considering, Mr. Chair, that what was approved was only 1/2 of the requested amount, that is 125 million, I wish to believe that this is supposed to be spent in 1/2 of the presented period, that is 45 days or 1.5 months of the last quarter of 2022. Nonetheless, Mr. Chair, during our previous hearings, it was established already, and I wish to confirm this from our resource speaker, that 125 million confidential fund of the OVP was spent only within the period of 11 days.
If we will base it on the date of days, ma'am, Mr. Chair.
And can please flash the next slide? There. The utilization of confidential fund, 125 million. December 21, 2022, and that is equivalent to 11 days. Do you confirm this, sir?
I confirm, Mr. Chair.
Now, let us look back to the 16 million portion of the 125 million confidential fund, which was used in the maintenance or rental of safe houses. This was liquidated by the use of 34 acknowledgement receipts. Do you confirm this?
I cannot confirm, Mr. Chair, because I have no participation or knowledge with regard to the disbursement or the liquidation of the
I
confidential
understand.
funds.
Can we go back to Ms. Villa del Rey? Can we confirm that the 16 million portion of the 125 million confidential funds was liquidated by way of acknowledgement receipts, 34 acknowledgement receipts representing rental of safe houses?
I cannot confirm, Your Honor, since I have no personal knowledge on the disbursement and utilization of confidential fund.
Do we have a resource speaker who have knowledge about this acknowledgement receipt? There is none. Nevertheless, Mr. Chair, let this rotation manifest that the records show that the 125 million confidential fund was approved for the last quarter of 2022, and 16 million out of the same amount was liquidated by way of 34 acknowledgement receipts representing rental of safe houses. And I wish to further manifest, Mr. Chair, that the lowest amount among the 34 acknowledgement receipt is 250,000, which was spent for 11 days, representing the rental of 22,000 per day for the said safe house. The highest amount of acknowledgement receipt, Mr. Chair, is 1 million. And if we divide this into 11 days, that would mean that the rental per day for the safe house is 90,000, way higher than the luxury hotels as previously presented and established in our hearings, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I wish to go back to Ms. Villa del Rey. Ma'am, doon po sa letter to the DVM for the request for augmentation fund, the purpose that was cited, safe implementation of various projects and activities under the Good Governance Program. Do you confirm this?
I don't have knowledge of the request, Your Honor. I only have copy of the letter.
Can we please flash again the fiscal financial plan? At least Ms. Villa del Rey, please confirm it from the document from the office of the OVP. It says safe implementation of OVP. I cannot read anymore. Would you know, Ms. Villa del Rey, if during the time of Vice President Robredo, there is good governance program also?
Yes, Your Honor.
And under Vice President Robredo governance program, may kasama po ba doon na maintenance of safe houses?
Wala po, Your Honor.
Then can you please enlighten us? Bakit po dito sa good governance program ni Vice President Duterte, may nasamang maintenance of safe houses under confidential fund?
Your Honor, wala po akong knowledge doon sa disbursement and utilization ng confidential funds.
Nonetheless, Mr. Chair, I wish to manifest that although both Vice President Robredo and Vice President Duterte,
Congresswoman Luistro, maybe we can ask Attorney Sanchez because I noticed that her name was included in that document.
Ms. Sanchez, Attorney Sanchez,
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
do you confirm that Vice President Robredo has good governance program?
Mr. Chair.
Would you
From-
confirm under Vice President Robredo's good governance program, there's no confidential fund?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
And
Your
would
Honor.
you further confirm that under Vice President Robredo's good governance program, there is no maintenance safe houses?
Yes, Mr. Chair, Your Honor.
Please enlighten us. Bakit po pagdating sa program, same program, good governance program of Vice President Duterte, biglang nagkaroon ng confidential fund, biglang nagkaroon ng maintenance safe houses?
Your Honor, the budget was proposed by the Office of the Vice President. And it would be for different programs, Your Honor. As to the details, I do not have information on the specific details and items to be under the confidential expense.
Would it
Your
be
Honor.
correct to say that the key officials of Vice President Duterte altered menu of the good governance program of then Vice President Robredo?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, I think that would be a possible explanation, Your Honor.
And are they really allowed to alter the program?
Mr. Chair, Honor, From my understanding, Your Honor, yes, that will be allowed because in the budget of the OVP, there is a general item, Your Honor, only, which is the good governance program.
In other words, Attorney Sanchez, that good governance program is just a nomenclature.
It's like
And as to what will be the menu under the good governance program, that will depend on the Vice President. Am I correct?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, that is my understanding, Your Honor.
And who therefore prepared the program of the good governance program under the time of Vice President Duterte?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, that would be the office of the Vice President, Your Honor.
Can you please cite the name? Who in particular among the key officials prepared?
Your Honor, I do not have the specific information on who the particular persons who prepared, but the request was submitted to the Budget Division, Your Honor.
Nevertheless, Mr. Chair, in spite of the admission of Attorney Sanchez that they can utter, what is clear, the program Good Governance under Vice President Duterte suddenly include confidential fund and maintenance of safe houses, items which were never seen and which were never included in the program of Vice President Robredo. Am I correct, ma'am?
That is correct, Mr. Chair.
Another important observation, Mr. Chair, Attorney Sanchez. Last quarter of December 2022, OVP spent 16 million for maintenance of safe houses. Do you confirm?
I have no personal knowledge, Your Honor.
May we know if any one of you has personal knowledge about this? Ms. Villa del Rey?
None, Your Honor.
Nevertheless, let me finish this manifestation. 2022 last quarter, the OVP spent 16 million for maintenance of safe houses. This was followed by 2023 first quarter, another 16 million for maintenance of safe houses. This was followed by 2023 second quarter, another 16 million for maintenance of safe houses. And finally, 2023 third quarter, this time 5 million maintenance of safe houses. The only conclusion that I can derive from 2022 last quarter to the third quarter of 2023, meron kayong informants or assets whom you are keeping in the safe houses that the OVP is renting. The question, however, is, why suddenly, pagdating ng last quarter ng 2023, wala nang expenditure for safe houses or not even for confidential fund? San po napunta yung informant at assets nyo which you have been keeping in your safe houses last quarter of 2022 to the third quarter of 2023? Yun po ba inabandon ng OVP? Yun po ba biglang nag-appear? I understand that you have no personal knowledge, but at least please give us a reasonable interpretation of what happened. Why suddenly, in the last quarter of 2023, nawala ang maintenance ng safe houses, which means nawala din ang informants at saka assets. Where did they go? Ms. Villa del Rey?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I cannot answer the question since I don't have really knowledge of the utilization of the confidential fund.
Attorney Sanchez?
Your Honor, I also apologize, same as the answer of Ms. Villa del Rey, Your Honor.
Sir Kevin?
Same, Mr. Chair. I have no knowledge or participation in the utilization of the confidential funds.
Ms. Rabago?
Same, Mr. Chair. I don't have a personal knowledge on the utilization of the confidential
Ms.
funds.
Villa del Rey? can you at least tell us who has the personal knowledge over these matters?
Based on the GC and based on the issuance of cash advance, it is the special disbursing officer,
Who is,
accountable officer.
can you please cite the name of the special disbursing officer?
As shown in Your Honor, it is Miss Gina Acosta.
And apart from Ms. Gina Acosta, who else has personal knowledge over these matters?
I don't have idea, Your Honor. I
And you
don't have
confirm
knowledge.
that Gina Acosta, special disbursing officer, whom you described earlier as confidential official with salary grade 24, is one of those who were subpoenaed and who did not appear. Tama po ba?
Tama po, Your Honor.
Thank you. I have nothing further, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Congresswoman Luistro.
Mr.
Yes,
Chair,
Deputy Speaker.
to ask a question. Attorney Sanchez, yung binanggit po ni Congressman Luistro na Special Disbursement Officer, ano pong pangalan niya? Gina Costa. She was cited in contempt, correct? Yeah. Along with Pahiya. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to get that clear. Thank you very much.
Your Honor, may we please recognize the presence of Honorable Jonathan Kitty Flores from 2nd District of Bukidnon and Honorable Steve C. Solon from the Lone District of Sarangani. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, I would like to recognize the next interpellator, the Honorable Jefferson Conghun. You have the floor, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, gusto ko pong i-direct ang aking katanungan kay Ginoong Jerome Tenedo.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair.
Good afternoon po. Bilang eksperto po no, sa budget planning, budget preparation, familiar po kayo sa estimation at forecasting ng mga budget. Kumbaga, i-request mo yung budget, i-request ka ng budget na kaya mong i-utilize, tama po ba?
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
So pag nag-request ka ng budget for 1 year, kaya mong siguraduhin na ito kayang-kaya mong i-utilize ng 1 taon.
Should be, Mr. Chair.
Okay. So pag nag-request ka naman ng 1 quarter, ng 1 quarter, yung in-request mo rin, kaya mong i-utilize sa 1 quarter.
Should be, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Mr. Kelvin, ano trabaho mo sa OVP?
Isa po akong budget officer. Involved po ako sa paggawa ng budget proposal during budget proposal submission to DBM and budget legislation sa mga hearing po ng Committee on Appropriations. Magawa din po kami ng documents to be ready documents for the hearing.
Okay. Kanang si Congresswoman Jinky kanina,
Yes, Mr. Chair.
yung na-alter, no? Kasi sinabi kanina, walang budget, no? Walang lagay na budget para dun sa confidential fund o maintenance, no? Ng mga safe houses nung panahon ni VP Robredo. Tapos nung naging si VP Duterte na, budget for maintenance ng mga houses. May kinalaman ka ba sa bilang budget officer, may kinalaman ka ba sa paglalagay ng budget na ito?
Specifically for safe houses, wala po, Mr. Chair.
Di ba sa'yo dumadaan lahat, lalo na pag mga request ng mga budget, siyempre may kinalaman ka sa menu, pagdagdag ng menu, no? Sa budget nito.
That's correct, Mr. Chair. But in general sense po yung naging nakalagay sa letter as confidential expenses, confidential fund, wala pong breakdown na merong maintenance of safe house.
So yung nakalagay sa budget ng OAP na nakalagay is maintenance for safe house, wala kang kinalaman dito. Hindi ikaw naglagay dito sa inyong budget proposal.
Yes, at the time of submission of request, wala pong ganung specific na or need, sir.
Paano to sa budget ng OVP hindi dumaan sa inyo? Yung maintenance ng mga
Opo. Sir, Mr. Chair, maintenance of safe houses is part of the confidential expenses. Yung umbrella term na confidential expense po, yung naging part ng letter. However, letter, hindi po nakaspecify ano po yung mga menu or items under confidential expenses na paggagamitan ng confidential fund.
Sino ang naglagay ng menu na ito?
I have no knowledge po, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Mr. Kevin, no? Responsibility niyo din bilang budget officer na mag-flag down, no, ng mga deficiencies or flaws. Pag meron kayo nakikita sa budget implementation ng OVP, tama po ba?
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
Sa paggastos ng mga pondong natanggap din ng OVP.
That's correct, Mr. Chair.
May mga napabang irregularidad sa paggastos ng 125 million confidential fund ng OVP?
Wala po, Mr. Chair. I have no knowledge with regards to utilization. The budget division is mainly involved on the early phase po on the request of cash advance for confidential activities.
So wala kang alam, lalong-lalo na sa kung paano ni-utilize.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Kay Madam Rosalyn Sanchez, di ba po kayo ang pumipirma ng cheque? Kasama po kayo sa pumipirma ng cheque?